Hey guys, it's Mr. B here. Thank you for checking out my video today. Today I have a brand new video for you guys. We are going to make a PowerPoint game together using Morph transition. So I hope you guys can watch this video till the end to learn how to make your own PowerPoint game. And if you're new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notification bell so you can get the latest materials when I post them up on this channel. So here we have it, Dino Dig, English game. So let's take a look at the game. This is our main game board right here. We have our numbers to choose from up here, and the students can choose any number they want to go to the Q&A slide. And down here we have 3 teams, Team 1, Team 2, Team 3, and the scoreboard at the bottom. You can click on it and test it out. You can also grab this free template below this video, but if you're curious on learning how to make your own PowerPoint game, you can watch this video together with me and put together your own PowerPoint game. I will also include fonts and pictures for you guys as well. So let's click on one of the questions here, and on the right here we have the question, and at the bottom we have the no and yes button, and we have the magnifying glass to show our reward. And if you click on the Y button here, it'll take us to the answer slide, and you have your points here, or your reward, or your item. And on your left you can add your answer over here, and on top we have the go back button, and you can click on that and it'll take you back to the main game board. So you can test it out again. We can click on another number here on the game board and see what it looks like. So this is the Morph transition, and you can add the question here, and you have the buttons down here, and you have your item behind the magnifying glass here. Click on the Y button to go to the answer slide, and you can see the answer, and you can get your reward here. And if you hit the back button, you can see that it zooms out, and you hit the right button, it zooms in. So this is the Morph transition using PowerPoint. So let's click on the go back here to go to the main game board again, and then you can give the students some points by clicking on the scoreboards down here. And I'll show you how to make the scoreboard as well, but you can watch my other video on how to make a scoreboard if you want to skip that part. Alright, so let's start by getting out of here, and we want to go to File and New Presentation. So go ahead and do that. Click on New Presentation, and we don't need this, so you can delete that, and we can delete this. And then we want to head over to Picture and choose Picture from a file, and we want to get soil. So the soil background here, so we can grab that, insert, and adjust this to fit the screen here. So just drag that a little bit, and I think that looks good. All right, and everything's okay here. And we are going to also make a duplicate of this. So right click here and duplicate, and then we are done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make the second slide here a little bigger. So make the picture a little bigger for our Morph transition. So make it big, then hit center, and align middle. And once you're happy with that, we are going to go to a transition up here. Just click on that and choose Morph for transition. So it does this automatic zoom in, zoom out, and we're going to click apply to all. So this game is only going to use Morph transition. So if you left click and right click on our keyboard, you can see that it zooms in and zooms out. All right. So if you're happy with that, we can go ahead to the next step, and we're going to add the title in on our first slide here. So click here, home, and go to text box, drag it here, and add your text here. We're going to just center everything up first, and you can choose any font you want, but the font that I include in here is called Rock On, so you can grab that at the bottom in the description box as well. So let's make it a little bigger here, and I think that's okay. And now we're going to go find our font. It's called Rock On. So there it is. Click on that, and now we have this font right here. I'll make it a little bigger. I want it a little bigger. And once you're happy with the size, we are going to add some colors to our font. So let's choose the outline here, dark brown. You can choose any color you want, but I'm going to choose this color right here, dark brown. And then after that, we are going to go to Format Shape, and I'm going to choose Text option here. Click on that, and Text Fill. So we're going to give it a gradient feel here. And generally, I want my color to be dark to light. So we just need 3 of them here, and here, dark to light. And here, I'm going to choose dark color, dark brown, light brown. And then I'm going to look for yellow. I'm going to use yellow. Okay, and then I'm going to go and make this bold so you can see it a little better. There you go, Dino Dig. And let's change the arc of this text. But before that, let's add a shadow effect to this. So click on Shadow, and we're going to give it a dark brown shadow here, and make sure the transparency and blur is set to 0. And the distance, you can give it a little bit more here. That looks good. And let's go to Shape Format. Click on that. Let's change the shape here to transform. And I'll just drag that down and make sure it's still centered. All right, I think that looks good. I'll just move it down a little bit here. And all right. Now we're going to add another text down here called English Game, and use a different font. I like this font. I'm going to choose that one, and let's make it a little big. I think that's okay. And then let's type in English Game here and adjust that and make sure it's also centered. Once you're happy with the alignment, we can go ahead and drop a gradient color here. Go to Text option and go to Gradient Fill, and the color's already set, so you're all good to go. Next, click on Shape Format and give it a dark outline, text outline. And I think I want to change the weight of this text a little bit, so I'll make it a little thicker. And then we'll drop a shadow into underneath the text here, and click on that. Add a dark brown shadow, and make sure the transparency and blur is set to 0. And I think that's pretty good. And let's give it a glow as well. Let's give it an orange glow. Click on that, and transparency maybe 50 is fine, I think. Okay. That looks good to me. All right. So now we have our text on our first slide here. And we are going to copy both of these texts and add it to the second slide. So we get that morph transition. So let's copy this, go to the second slide, paste, and we'll drag it off screen. So let's drag this one to the top, and we'll drag this one to the bottom. And then we are going to shrink the text a little bit. So when it morphs, it looks like the text are zooming out and zooming in. So make this a little smaller, and we'll just change this until we're happy. And I think that's good enough right there. And let's check it out. So when we right click on our keyboard, the tool zooms in and the text flies off screen, and we hit back and we get this effect, this zoom in, zoom out effect. All right, that looks pretty good to me. Let's get out of there. And now we are going to duplicate this slide, and that's all we're going to do. So first, before doing that, we're going to add some rocks onto this slide, because we're going to use the same slide for our Q&A as well. So let's go to picture again, and picture from a file, and choose another rock. Click on that, and we'll just insert it there. And then we are going to resize these rocks so that they look good on our picture. So let's see, maybe I'll try a 3, and we can always scale this down or scale them up if we're not happy with the size. And then just move it somewhere onto your screen here. Let's just take a look at that. Nope, I want to make it a little closer, and until I'm happy with my alignment, and then I will duplicate the slide. So right click and then choose duplicate slide, and now we have we'll use this for our QA slide, and we don't need this, so we can delete the text here and this one here. All right, so we're going to make these rocks move off our picture, and to do that, we're going to first make them a little big, so when it zooms in, the rocks gets big too, and they kind of float off of the slide. So make them a little big like that, and we'll do the same with this one, and just experiment with whatever size you guys like, and we'll just move it off a little bit off of the slide here. And once you're happy with the position, you can check it out by hitting the play button. Also, we want to make the soil background a little bigger too, because it's zooming in. So let's make it to about 12 here, and make sure we hit center and middle here. Make sure everything's aligned in the middle, and let's see what it looks like. Okay, maybe I want my rock a little bigger, but yeah, that looks okay to me. All right, we'll just adjust the rock a little bit here until we're happy with the position. And also we are going to make a duplicate of this slide here, and then we'll drag the rock off of the screen to the left and to the right. So go ahead and do that. All right, now we'll make the background a little bigger as well. It's maybe about 14 maybe. But you can make it bigger if you want, and make sure it's aligned in the center and in the middle. All right, now we'll go back to the main game board slide here, and we'll give it a section so we can keep track of everything. So click on section, add section, and call this the main game board. And then for this section, we'll add another section and call it the QA slide. All right, now we're going to go to the main game board and add the magnifying glasses in. And click on picture here, go to picture from a file, and go find the magnifying glass and insert that into the main game board. And now we're going to adjust the size until we're happy with the size that we want. And I'll move it here maybe. Okay, maybe I'll make it a little bigger. I'll make it a little bigger. Maybe 2.5. All right, and now we're going to make a copy of this. So go ahead, copy it, and go to the QA slide, and we're going to paste it in there. And we're going to move it here and make it a little bigger. You can put it anywhere you want. Doesn't have to be in the center or anything like that. So I'll make it a little bigger. And then we're going to make another copy of this once we get this done. All right, I think I'm happy with that now. And then we're going to make a copy of it, and then we're going to go to the next slide underneath it, and this will be the answer slide, and we'll make this really big. When we morph into this slide, we want everything to be very big. So we'll make it, let's see, I'll make it, let's try 17 for now maybe, or 20, and we're going to see what it looks like. So you can test it out a little bit by dragging it onto your slide here in the middle, and maybe I don't want it to be too centered, maybe off to the right somewhere. And once you're happy with that, you can test it out by going to the main game board. Okay, we need to move that down a little bit, so grab that and just drag it somewhere down there, and it's still too high, so let's drag it down a little lower, and let's test it out. And here we have it, and when right click, it's going to go to the question slide, right click again, and it goes to the answer slide. So it zooms in like this using morph transition. All right, let's make this a little maybe a little smaller, and we'll move it maybe more to the right. So go ahead and do that. All right. Okay. And now we are going to drag it a little bit more here. And I think I'm happy with this. All right. And now that we have made our main game board slide and our QS slide, now we can give this a name. So go to your selection pane and let's call this magnifying glass. It'll be easier for you to keep track of this later on when you have to hide and unhide it to add your rewards. And let's give them a name as well on the other slide. Let's just go there, and this is the magnifying glass. All right, and also, yeah, it's okay. And now we can add our little reward, and we can go find something here, maybe a dino bone. Let's insert that in. A little too big, so let's make it small. And we're going to put this behind the magnifying glass. So let's just position it to where we want it to be, right there. Maybe make it a little bigger. All right. Now that you're happy with the size, just put it somewhere behind the magnifying glass and give it a name called dinosaur bone, maybe dinosaur bones, and we'll drag that underneath the magnifying glass. So go ahead and do that. And we are also going to do the same for the answer slide here. We're going to put another dinosaur bone, the same one, behind the magnifying glass. So let's see. Okay. So go to picture and click on picture from a file and choose the same one. Insert. And let's make it really big. So let's drag it somewhere here, and maybe I'll make it to about right there, maybe. And I think I can go a little bigger. All right, and once you're happy with the size and the positioning, just give it a name, dinosaur bone, or whatever name you want to give it. And we'll drag it underneath the magnifying glass. And let's see, maybe I want to drag it down a little bit more. I want to see more dinosaur bone. So let's click on that and drag it down just a little bit. And then we'll click on the play button to see what that looks like. All right, that looks pretty good to me. And let's see the morph. And from there, we go to the question, from the question to the answer. Yep, that looks pretty good to me. All right, so once you're happy with that, you can just adjust things a little bit here. And once you're happy with the adjustment, we can go ahead to the next step. And this, we want to click on the answer slide, and we're going to look for the torn paper here, and we're going to insert that. And this is where we're going to put our question. So let's see, that's a little too big, and we're going to make it a little smaller. All right, I'll drag it down here, and maybe just a tad bit smaller, I think. All right, so let's see what this looks like, and that looks pretty good. I think that's the size I want. And once you're happy with that, we are going to add a text box. So click on the text box, drag it across the paper here, and then we are going to write our text, our add question here, or add your own question there. So just choose the font, any font you want. And I'll write here, add question here. And then I'll just make it a little bigger. So go ahead and do that. And once you're happy with the size, that looks good. We'll add a gradient color to this text. So click on Format Shape, go to Text option, and click on Gradient. And your color has been saved from the last gradient option. So we'll add like a border for our text, and we're also going to add a shadow to this text. Again, choose dark brown, make sure it's set to 0 for blur and transparency. And once you have that, we are going to group the text box and the paper together. So this is what it looks like right here. And if you're happy with that, we can go ahead and group the text box and the paper here. So click on both of them, right click and go to group. Now we can group it. Now it's one object or one picture. And let's give this a name. Maybe call it question text. You can call it whatever you want. And now we want to make a copy of it. Go to the answer slide and we'll paste it there and we'll drag it down here. And let's see, that's off screen there. We'll just move it a little bit to the right and adjust that. And okay, that's not that bad. And now we are going to call this answer, add answer here, and change this name here to answer text. All right. Now we can make a copy of this right here. So go ahead, copy. Go to the answer slide here, paste, and we'll drag that off to the right. So when it morphs, the text will also morph off screen. And for this one, we'll copy, so this is what it looks like. When we go back, the paper morphs off screen, and we want to do the same with the answer. So we want to grab that, copy, and then we go to the slide right here, and we're going to paste that in, and then move it off the screen. Just like that. And this is what it looks like. It's just a little extra something that makes your slide a little special, but you don't have to do that. You don't have to make copy of the answer and question and drag it off. But if you want to, you can do that. It just makes the slide look nicer. And okay, now we're going to add some buttons here. The NY yes no button. So let's choose a circle for shape and just drag it underneath the paper here. And just let's see, 1.5 I think should be okay. And once we have that, we'll just move it until we're happy with the positioning. And then let's add a font. I'll choose the same one, and we'll call this the Y button. And you can play around with the size. I generally want to make my text a little bigger. And all right, and now I'll call this the yes button. And once I've done that, I'm going to make a copy of it, paste, and drag it next to it. And this will be the N button for no. Just erase that, and oops, we'll just erase that, and we'll add the N here for no. All right. Now that we've got that done, so this is what it looks like right here. Let's make this a little prettier. Let's go to shape and go to gradient fill, and maybe I'll add a dark color here. This one, and maybe make this red and then lighter. So it's up to you. You can use whatever color you want. I'm just going to use this right here. And this one I'll make green. Go to gradient fill, and maybe I'll just change this to like a green and then light green. All right, and then I can take off the outline for the shape here, so we don't need that. No outline. And then click on here, and we go to 3D format to give the buttons a little more shape. So click on this one, and we'll just change the width a little bit until we're happy with it. Let's see, let's make it a little bigger so we can see. And I think, okay, our button looks pretty good there. And then we can also put an outline on the text on the letters here. So click on the button and give it like a dark red outline, and give it a little bit more width here, and this one too, maybe a green outline for the N. So we'll go here and maybe dark green outline and change the width of that as well. You can even add a glow to the buttons if you want. It's really up to you, but we'll just drop a shadow here to make it more eye-catching here. So let's go with a dark color here and make sure the blur is 0. And yeah, it looks pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, it looks pretty good to me. All right. So now we are going to make a copy of this Y and N button here and Y button here. So just make a copy of it. Click on both of them, copy, and we're going to paste it here. As I mentioned, you don't have to do this. It's just an extra step to make your slide look good. But yeah, once you have that, just drag it off underneath the paper here. And now when you hit play, this is what it looks like. When you go to the next slide, everything goes off screen to the right, and something pops in from the left. All right, looking good. And now all we need to do is add a go back button. So let's choose a rock. Any rock will do. I'll choose this one right here and insert that. And then we'll just move it here to the upper left corner. And let's make it big as well. All right. Once you're happy with that, just move it here, and a little too big and a little too high. I'll just shrink it a little bit and move it closer here. All right, that's not too bad. And now once you're happy with the positioning, just go to text box here, insert a text here, drag it over the rock, and we'll call this, and we'll label this go back. So this will be our go back button to the main game board. And let's just make it a little bigger, and then we'll write go back just like that. All right, and we can also put a gradient fill on this text as well. So go ahead and do that. Click on gradient, and oops, make sure you click on text option first, and then click on gradient fill. And now we can go from dark to light. So dark brown, maybe this one, light brown, and then maybe we will choose yellow after that, or orange. And now we go to the shape format and give it an outline, a dark outline here. And then after that, we want to give it a shadow. So click on text option and give it a shadow. Again, dark brown. Make sure the blur is set to 0, and we'll give the distance give it a little more distance. And yeah, looks pretty good. I'll just move it down a little bit. But first we'll group this, right? And then we'll just move it down. All right, looking good. All right, let's give this a name here. We'll call this return button. And later on, we'll link everything, and I'll show you how to do that. So let's click on here, and we'll add the rock here as well, and we'll drag that off to the left. So this is what it looks like. So right click, and then whatever's on the left comes into to picture, and whatever's on the right will come into picture when you hit left and right on your keyboard. All right, so now that you have the QA slide all ready to go, we can work on the main game board. So let's click on that, and we have the magnifying glass already there. And let's see, let's make it a little bigger, and we're going to make some duplicate of this. So we'll add a text box here, and we'll add a number inside this text box. And let's choose Porky font, and let's just make it a little bigger again. Once I'm happy with the size, I'll put 1 inside here. All right, I think that's good, and we'll just put this in the center of the magnifying glass. There we go. And then we'll give it a gradient feel as well, but for now we're going to call this 1, and we'll call this magnifying glass 1. All right, we don't have to worry about anything else. Let's see. Let's just drop a color in there. Let's just make it. Let's just keep it white, and we'll give it a outline, a dark outline, and change the weight, and then drop a shadow in there. All right, and make sure the blur is 0. All right, so this is what it looks like. Okay, and now I'm going to make a duplicate of this magnifying glass and number, and this will be used to link to our QA slide as well. So let's click on here, animation, and we are going to choose an exit effect, and we're going to make it fade. So go ahead and do that. Click on animation pane, and we are going to click on trigger, and on click we're going to find number 1. So when you click on the 1, it'll fade away. So it should look like this. All right. Let's make a copy of this, and we'll paste it in there. We'll want to do it a few times. But you can add as many magnifying glass as you want for your class. But for this demonstration, we're just going to do a few. I'm just going to work a little faster, copy and paste. And make sure you position it to where you're happy. So here I have it, and I think I'm happy with the positioning here. And we'll just change now the numbers from 1 to what it should be, or you could put alphabet in there if you want. Alphabet letter is fine as well. All right, 7, this one, 8. So go ahead and do that. Oops, a little small, so we'll make this a little bigger. All right, and this one, 11, 12, whoops. All right. And now that you have added your number in here, you want to give this a name, because later on we're going to make them into triggers, and so we want to keep track of everything. So number 2, magnifying glass 2, and this is 3, and magnifying glass 3, etc. So I'm going to work a little faster soon, so go ahead and do this. Click on this, so we'll call this 4, and this one 5, and this is magnifying glass number 5. And let's change this one as well. All right, let's work a little faster. All right, so I'm done with mine, and now I can make copies of this animation right here. To do that, just click on this and go to animation and the animation painter. So you don't have to do everything one by one. You just have to paint it onto another number here. So this will save you time. So again, click on animation painter and then click on a number just like that. Hope you guys are finding my materials and lessons useful, and if you do, please don't forget to like, share, and comment. It would really help out this channel a lot. And if you're new to this channel, Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notification bell so that you can get the latest materials when I post them up on this channel. Alright, so it looks good and everything is ready to go. So let's test it out to make sure everything works. As I mentioned, you can make more magnifying glass if you want. For this purpose, we're just going to do 12 of them, but you can make more as well. It looks like everything works here. That one works too. Alright, looks pretty good to me. So now our main game board is almost done. We need to add a scoreboard. So to do that, we're just going to grab a shape. I'm going to do like a rectangular shape here and just drag it somewhere. And you can put it anywhere on your game board. Let's see. And I also want to maybe take off the outline. I don't need the outline. I just want the shape itself. And I'll make it white. And let's see. Let's make another part of this scoreboard. Let's drag another rectangular shape on top here. This is where we're going to add the team. So click on this and just drag it a little bit. This is where the team name goes. Okay, that looks like it's centered in the middle. And I'll make this white as well. Click on this and this together, and we're going to combine the two shapes together. So click on here, right here, and go to union here. Now it's one shape. All right. We're going to do this 2 more times, but for now, we are going to change the transparency a little bit. Maybe I'll just make it to about maybe 20. I think will be good. Alright, so it looks good, the transparency, but the size is too big, so we want to make it a little smaller. And it's still a little too big, so it's off screen. So I'll make it a little smaller here. Alright, so just play around with the size until you're happy with the size and shape that you want. And okay, I think that size is fine right there, I think. After you finish making the background for your scoreboard, we are going to make the counters. So let's add another slide here, a blank slide. It's fine. Go to picture, choose picture from a file, and we want to grab all these numbers right here, 0 to 9. So go ahead and do that. So grab all the numbers. All right, and we'll just insert that in our PowerPoint here. And let's just drag that here, maybe here. If you guys want to skip this part, and you already know how to do this, you can go ahead and skip this part of the video and go to the next section. All right. Also, I'll include a link above this video to how to make your own counter as well. So let's just give this a name. So 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So go ahead and do that. All right. So here we have everything all set up, and now we're going to animate this. So select everything here, and we're going to animation, and we're going to go to exit animation, and we're going to choose disappear. Go ahead. And then once you have that done, you are going to go to animation and make triggers out of each one of these. So let's click on 0 and click on triggers and go to on click here. So click on this right here, and that's set to 0 already. So make sure it's 0 and 1 right here. Click on 1 and go to on click and set that to 1. And you want to do the same for your other numbers as well. So go ahead and do that. I'm just going to work a little faster now. As I mentioned, I'll include the link above this video to how to make your own clicker and counter, and you can check that out as well. All right, we're almost done, and we got the last one here, and now this is done. Now we want it to appear, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to highlight all of the numbers, and we're going to choose appear. So go to the green animation here, click on appear. And now where it says 0, we want to grab 1 and drag it and put it underneath 0 here. And 2 goes underneath 1. So on click, and we'll find number 1. And we'll do the same for the other numbers. So when you click on 2, the next number should appear right after that. So let's do that for all of the numbers. So 6 here, we'll put underneath 5. So go ahead and do that. If you guys have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to write them down below this video, and I'll take a look at that. And if you want to see other videos on how to do PowerPoint games or make certain things, please do let me know. Oops, we missed one somewhere here. Let's see. Ah, there it is. So make sure this one goes underneath 4 here. All right, so let's see. Okay. And now we got to make the green animation with previous. So click on this, hit and hold command, and click, hold command, click. And now we want to go with previous for timing. So go ahead and do that. And should be okay, I think. And we'll go to effects option and we'll add some sound effects. So go ahead, go to sound, and go to other sound, and go find the sound folder that you downloaded. And right here, we'll click on the sound, and we want the rock scatter sound effects here. So click on that and insert it. So now we have embedded the sound into our counter. So this is what it sounds like and looks like. The sound effects is set to 1 second, so make sure you click a little slower. Now we click on select everything, and then we choose align and center. Make sure everything's aligned and center. And now we have our counter. So let's copy that and we'll put it into our main game board here. So let's paste it in here, and let's just drag it down here for our team. And we're going to make a copy of it. We're going to do 2 more copies. So go ahead and do that. Copy and paste. And then we'll drag it in until it aligns right. I think that is okay. 1 more, and we'll just drag it there. I think there is okay, right there. All right. Now we have our scoreboard. Click on it. As I mentioned, you can't click on it too fast because the sound effects is set it runs about 1 second, so it needs time to play through completely. Of course, you can use other sound effects if you want. You don't have to use this sound effects that's included with this demonstration. And now we're going to add a team name here. So we're going to add it. So let's see. Just want to make sure the margins and everything is correct here. All right, so just click on here. Let's make it a little bigger. Just click on here, right here, and we'll just type in like Team 1, or you can give it a name. You can anything you want. So I'll just choose this font, and there it is, Team 1. I'll just hit enter a few times, and we'll just make this a little bigger so we can see, and we'll just change the top margin here. We'll just or the bottom margin actually. I think that's okay. And now we'll give it an outline and also a give it some weight and also a shadow. Text option, shadow, dark brown. Make this a little bigger and we'll make the blur 0. And we have our first scoreboard here. All right, so let's, looks good. And we can also make the back of the scoreboard 3-dimensional. So we can click on shape option and go to 3D format and choose this one. You can choose whatever bevel you want, but I'll choose this one and we'll just make the width a little bigger. Give it that stone thick look. All right, and once you're happy with the look of your scoreboard, you can make a copy of it. I'll copy this one and I'll drag it here in the middle somewhere. And once I'm happy with that, I'll make the third one. All right, I'll make the third one, copy, paste, and we'll just drag it somewhere here. And let's see, oh, oops, it's a little too far to the right, so we're going to move it to the left a little bit. All right, so let's do the same with this one. We'll just adjust it a little bit more to the left. And I hope that's okay. Just a little tiny bit more. All right, let's move it to the left a little bit more. And I think this one needs to go in a little bit more, and it should be okay now. All right. All right. Now we need to change the team name because it's all team 1, so you need to give it a different name. So this we'll call this team 2, and this one we'll call this team 3. All right. Our main game board is pretty much complete. You don't need the slide anymore. You can delete the slide. And now we have our QA slide, the answer, the question and the answer slide here already made. And now we can just duplicate this a few times. All right. As I mentioned, you can make as many QA slides as you want. Just make sure on the main game board you have enough buttons and numbers to match the QA slide. All right, so let's hide the magnifying glass and we'll change one of the dinosaur to like a different reward. Go ahead and do that. I'll click on picture here and let's find something to add in there. Maybe this one right here. We'll choose this dinosaur, a pterodactyl, and then we'll unhide the magnifying glass. And then we go to the answer slide, hide the magnifying glass, and then we want to right click, change picture from a file and choose the same one. And that should do it. So this is what it looks like. All right, and now you want to do the same with your other QA slide that you created. Right click, change picture, and maybe I'll give this one like a rock. And maybe we'll add one more in there, copy paste. And this one is going to be in front of the magnifying glass, so we are going to drag it underneath the magnifying glass. Let's go ahead and drag that underneath the magnifying glass and give it a name. Maybe we'll call this rock. And this one too as well. All right, and now we just unhide the magnifying glass, and then we go to our answer slide, and this is our reward slide. So let's give it change the picture from file, and let's give it some crystals, or maybe an old can. All right, let's just make this a little smaller. I think that's okay. So we can take a look at that and see what that looks like. All right, so we get a mystery reward here. So you get a can instead of a dinosaur bone. And we can do another one here. Let's put crystals for this one instead. So hide this, right click here, go to change picture from a file, and then let's add some rocks in there. Let's add this rock and copy paste. Again, we're going to drag this under the magnifying glass. We'll give a name first, and then we'll drag it underneath the magnifying glass and give this one a name as well. All right, that looks pretty good. And now let's click on the answer slide here. Click on the dinosaur bone, change picture from a file, and let's put some crystals in there. Let's use some yellow crystal. It's a little big, so we'll shrink that a little bit. And once you're happy with the size and the positioning of your crystals here, you can make a copy of it and turn this one a little bit here, make it a little bigger maybe. All right, and then we'll give this a name as well. We'll call it crystal. All right. Now let's unhide the magnifying glass and let's take a look at that. Hit the back button here and we have the rock, and what's behind the rock? We have some crystal. And as I mentioned, you can give the students whatever points you want. Maybe you can include like a point with the answer as well. All right, so now we're going to hyperlink everything. So here, click on 1, go to action setting, and we're going to hyperlink this to slide number 3. So go ahead, find slide number 3. This one right here, slide 3. So we want to link it to the question slide, and you want to do the same for all the numbers. So maybe number 2, you want to hyperlink this. Oops. Right click and go to action setting, and we are going to link this to slide number 5. So go ahead and do that. And you want to do the same for all the other numbers as well. All right, so let's see, right click, action setting, and we're going to link it to slide 7. So go ahead and do that. All right, and you can do the same as well for the other slides. Super. All right, now for the go back button here on the answer slide, you want to right click and go to action setting, and you want to link this to slide 2, to the main game board slide. So slide 2 here, and click OK. And you want to do the same for the other slides as well. So find the go back button, and you want to hyperlink that by going to action settings and click on hyperlink to, and click on slide and go to slide and link it to slide 2. All right. And so on for the other slides. And now we're going to hyperlink the Y button to the next slide. This is easy. Action setting, hyperlink to next slide. That's all you have to do, and hit OK. For the No button, we want to hyperlink this to slide 2. So click on that, hyperlink to slide 2, and this will go to the main game board. So if they answer wrong, they don't get any rewards. They just go back to the main game board. And we want to do the same for this as well, for the slide. Next slide, that's fine. And the No to slide number 2. All right. And now you can do the same for all of your other Q&A slides. So go ahead and do that. All right, so we can take a look at our game now from the title screen. First, we can add another sound effects here. So go to other sounds, and we're going to insert a new sound in here. We're going to insert like a crumbling sound effect. So go ahead and go to the sound file and insert that, embed that into your sound here. And up here too, we're going to put the crumbling sound effect, and we click insert. All right, let's test it out and see what it looks like. So here we have the game. Make sure you save your game as well. Let's hit the play button. So you have your title screen. And if you right click on your keyboard to go to the main game board, it should play a sound effects. And now we can click on a number. The question here, if they get it right, click on yes. Goes to the answer slide, and you put your reward here as well. Go back, and then the number should disappear, and then you can give them some points here. All right, awesome. Let's try number 2. Question here, if they get it right, click Y. If no, click no, and it takes them back to the game board, and you don't get any points. And you can do number 3 here. Click on that, and ooh, some rocks. Okay, yes. Click on the yes button here, and ooh, what? They found an old can, so maybe they get like 1 point or something, or no point. And you can hit the go back button to go back. I hope you guys enjoy this video today, and if you do, please don't forget to hit that like button, share, and comment. It will really help out this channel a lot. And if you want to see more contents like this, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notification bell so that you can get the latest materials when I post them up on this channel. And if you would like to see other contents like this, or games, please don't hesitate to write them down in the comment section below, and I'll definitely take a look at that. Again, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you, and I wish you the best of luck in your classes.